in offshore industry, a major revolution happened. It started happening, I would say, about 30, 35 years ago, when a lot of people started investing in trying to develop technology that will allow us to have what is referred to nowadays as subsea completions. In other words, producing wells far away from the parent platform that was either used to drill or is producing the well. So in this particular case, you have to both reach the well through what is referred to as horizontal drilling. So, you know, you have a platform which is at a distance from the well, and the well is reached both through vertical and horizontal drilling. But at the same time, you know, you have dispersed wells, namely one surface platform services many wells, which means also that energy has to be delivered to the different wells. Basic services need to be provided at the different wells. So, you know, all of that really makes electric power one of the most, shall we say, prime candidates for powering the facilities. And the other thing that perhaps this also explains why the need for underwater vehicles has increased nowadays, because if you are to service, let's say, a platform, a well which is 3,000, 4,000 meters below the sea surface, you require a very expensive surface vehicle that can cost as much as $250,000 a day to operate, in order to use the traditional technology, which is in the form of manned submersibles, which are operated from the surface. And even to do the simplest operation, namely turn a valve or inspect a particular joint, you still have to deploy a vessel, you have to deploy what is called a remotely operated vehicle, and then use that to do the inspection and operations that you need to. If, on the other hand, you had an autonomous underwater vehicle, namely a vehicle that operates in its own power, you eliminate the need for a major vessel at the surface, you eliminate the tether, you eliminate the human in the loop, so you try to make it as inexpensive as you can and bring down the price instead of $250,000 a day, at least to something much more reasonable. I do not know exactly what, but it will be definitely less than. I would say underwater video transmission is one of these, what I call enabling technologies. In other words, without it you cannot do something else which is very important to them, namely try to produce oil wells in the middle of the ocean, 3,000 meters below the surface, at a reasonable cost. And without the ability to see what you are doing underwater, you will never be able to develop true autonomy, which is also, by definition, the only way you can actually reduce operating and producing costs. So their managers have the foresight to see that even though this is a theoretical problem, it is really an enabling technology that is critical for the well-being of the whole enterprise.